We're just gonna give it a moment and let the waiting room clear. Please make sure you're muted as you enter. As you enter. All right. Good afternoon. This is a hearing before the Boston Cannabis Board, the BCB. Today is August 16th, 2023. Today's hearing is being conducted pursuant to temporary amendments to the open meeting law. That is what allows us to meet virtually. This hearing is being recorded and will be posted to the City of Boston's website. Before I review some procedural matters, I will introduce Chairwoman Kathleen Joyce.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Jasmine. My name is Kathleen Joyce. I am chair of the Boston Cannabis Board. Today, I'm pleased to be joined by Commissioner Lisa Holmes, Commissioner John Smith, and Commissioner Gabriel Camacho.
Thank you, Chairwoman Joyce. And my name is Jasmine Nguyen. I am the Boston Cannabis Board Manager. We are also joined by Allison Quinn, who is the Project Manager for the BCB. While the public is encouraged to attend today's hearing, there will be no additional public testimony accepted. I will read each item into the record, followed by comments from the board members. I will then ask if there is a motion, any questions to the motion, and then there will be a vote. Each board member has the ability to grant with conditions, defer, reject without prejudice, which means the applicant can return anytime with an application at the same location, or reject with prejudice, which means the applicant cannot reapply at the same location for 1 year. We will begin with amendments to already approved licenses. The first applicant is New Dia Fenway LLC, DBA New Dia. The license premise is 48 to 62 Brookline Avenue, Fenway, Kenmore. The license type is a retail recreational cannabis dispensary license, and the license request was to amend the operating hours from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. 7 days a week to 10 a.m. to midnight 7 days a week. We'll begin with comments from the board members, starting with Chairwoman Joyce.
Thank you, Jasmine. My comments are that I asked staff to take a look at what the closing hours were in other downtown locations. They do vary slightly, but the latest we've gone downtown is 11. And the neighborhoods, I think we went recently to 10. So those are my comments.
Commissioner Camacho?
Considering the traffic that happens there around 10, 11, and 12, it does make business sense. However, I'm a little reticent to go to the midnight hour, and I'd like to hear what the other commissioners say.
Commissioner Smith?
Thanks, Jasmine. Yeah, same. You know, I was thinking as we were talking with them in the first hearing, it is a very busy area. There's lots of clubs and music and people hanging out. So I'm partial to them being open till midnight just because of the nature of that area and how packed it is with folks around that time.
Commissioner Holmes?
Yeah, I'm a little hesitant about the midnight, although I am aware that the state allows till midnight. I would, like Commissioner Camacho said, I'd be worried about the noise and the traffic. I would suggest, if he wanted to stay open a little later, maybe 11:30, with the understanding that everyone would have to be out of there by midnight, but definitely not extending it till midnight, maybe 11:30.
So this would be if we did go to 11:30, everyone out by 12. This would be the first licensee that we've allowed to do so. Jasmine, I just wanted to ask you, how long have they been open?
They opened the last month, so.
Oh, a month.
Yeah, no. Oh,
I'm going to suggest that we extend it until what else? What's the latest downtown so far? 11.
11.
I would say last sale by 11, all patrons off by 11:30, and let them come back in, I'd say, a few months or 6 months to report back to us and describe their need to stay open any later. But they've only been open for a month. I'd like to see how operations go.
I think that makes sense. And yeah. Remember, I brought up the issue of their capacity, and their average transaction is between 15 and 20 minutes. So that's, if they have full capacity, that's a lot of people to get out within a half hour.
Yeah, I agree. And I think we can learn from them if they could, I think we need more than a month to see how operations go here. And then I'm not against a later hour, but at this point, I'd like to see them move slowly with the later hour. So my motion would be to amend the operating hours from amend the operating hours to 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. All patrons off at 11:30.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And none opposed. So the approval is to 11 p.m. All patrons out by 11:30.
Yes.
All right, the next item we have, the applicant is Swaff Estate LLC DBA Greenberry. License firm is 879 Blue Hill Avenue, Dorchester. The license type is the retail recreational cannabis dispensary license. And the license request is for a change of DBA from Greenberry to Baked Cannabis Dispensary. And secondly, has petitioned for a change of ownership interest. Chairwoman Joyce, do you have any comments?
No comments.
Commissioner Camacho?
No comments.
Commissioner Smith?
Thanks, Jasmine. No comment.
Commissioner Holmes?
No comment.
Chairwoman Joyce, is there a motion?
I make a motion to approve the changes as requested.
For a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And none opposed. So the request is granted for a DBA change and a change of ownership interest. All right, now we will move to our new license application. The applicant is Suite 420 Wellness LLC. The proposed license premises 1295 to 1297 River Street, Hyde Park. The license type is for a retail recreational cannabis dispensary, a delivery operator, and product manufacturing license. The proposed hours of operation are 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. 7 days a week, and this is an equity applicant. We will start with comments from the board members. Chairwoman Joyce.
Thank you, Jasmine. I'd like to thank the applicant. I think Ms. Israel did a great job during her presentation. She hit upon all the categories with which we analyze these applications. I think we have a woman-owned equity applicant in one of the neighborhoods of Boston. There is parking, there is public transportation, there is a buffer zone, and I think Ms. Israel did a good job of explaining how her proposal, her licensed place would differ from the other location, which is within a half a mile. She described it as the businesses were different and complementary. Parts of her proposal, I thought, were aspirational, to borrow the words of our former commissioner, Lombos, but I think with time, some of those things could be strengthened as she works her way through the process. Those are my comments.
Commissioner Camacho.
I was impressed by their starting wage. So they're good with me.
Commissioner Smith.
Thanks, Jasmine. Same, pretty much echoing the same statements. I was a little bit, I thought the employment plan was a little general in a sense. But yeah, when we talked more about the starting wages and some of the, more aspirational ideas that got flushed out a little bit. So, fine proposal overall. Thank you.
Commissioner Holmes.
Nothing to add. It was a great proposal. I like the fact that she actually talked about incorporating the other business into hers, utilizing them and using them. So I thought that was really good, knowing that they're right in the area. So no, I thought it was could have been, like Commissioner Smith said, a couple of things could have had a little more detail to, maybe a little more detail to the security and the employment plan. But overall, I thought it was a pretty good presentation.
All right. Chairwoman Joyce, is there a motion?
Thanks, Jasmine. I make a motion to grant this license conditional upon the buffer zone conflict being resolved.
Is there a second?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And none opposed. So the petition is granted pending variance from the zoning board. All right. Next, we just have 2 one-day amendments to already approved licenses. Happy Valley at 220 McCullen Highway, East Boston, has applied for one-day extension for August 24th and August 29th to open at 8 a.m. as opposed to their 10 a.m. Opening time. Any questions?
No questions?
No, Chairwoman Joyce.
I make a motion to approve.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And none opposed. So the petition is granted. So those are all the matters before the board today. Our next transactional hearing will take place on September 13th at 1 p.m. Hope everyone enjoys the rest of their day.
Thank you.
Thank you.